Come Be Yourself with the Central Oregon Autism Moms Podcast. Welcome to the Central Oregon Autism Moms Podcast, a group for all the female caregivers of autistic children. I'm Kate. Let's spend some time together. This is episode 1, the beginning of what we hope is a long journey together. The Central Oregon Autism Moms group was created in the last couple weeks. This podcast is another way for us to stay connected and get to know each other, as well as a way to give you information on your community and share some great stories. To start us off, I thought I would share a story from one of our own. It was a cold, high desert night in January. She was sleeping as well as any of us do. She awoke to a knock on the door. When she went to answer, she found a police officer asking if, by chance, a small child might be playing with a cell phone. Turns out her son, who is on the spectrum, called 911 49 times. He had an old phone in his bedroom. Of course, this phone was disconnected from cell service, on airplane mode, and behind a password. If that only actually slowed our kids down. All he knew, she thinks, is that if he dialed 911, someone would talk to him. Luckily, the officer was very understanding and didn't find our mom friend or haul her off to jail. Of course, if this was not embarrassing enough, the response she got from her mainstream parenting friends was less than supportive. As we know, some parents just don't speak the language. They just don't get it. So here's my question of the week. Does this happen to you? You share a story that you find humorous or maybe just venting because everyone needs to now and then. Instead of getting the response you're expecting, you realize they just don't get it. Tell us your story. If you're listening to this, then you most likely already know about our Facebook group. I'll post the question there. This seems like a great place to start to get to know each other. All of us speak the language of the journey. Come share with us. Upcoming events and things to look forward to in Central Oregon. The Central Oregon Autism Moms first get-together will be June 14th. For more information, check out the Facebook page. Parents and caregivers with children affected by a disability support groups still meet every month. Visit the Central Oregon Disability Support Network page at coampodcast.org. Sibs Connect, a sibling of children affected by disability support group, run by Sibs for Sibs, meets the fourth Tuesday of every month at a billetry at 6 p.m. For information on all of these events, or to let us know about one, go to our Facebook page. She was the captain of the high school cheerleading squad, the youngest contestant in the Miss America competition this year, and she's going to the University of Montana, majoring in art therapy. Although Miss New York won the crown, Miss Montana, Alexis Weinman, won the America's Choice title.
I hope it was because they found me very relatable, and I just thank you so much, America, for voting for me.
Her platform issue? Normal is just a drier setting. Living with autism. Diagnosed at 11 with PDD-NOS, her childhood was not as glamorous.
And of course, by the time I graduated, I had done so many things I thought I never would be able to do. Nothing stopping me from getting up on that stage and trying.
Cross-country runner, cheer captain, Miss Montana. Normal really is just a drier setting. Miss Montana's advice to parents?
Never underestimate them because they will come up and surprise you.
A new support resource that connects parents, autistic individuals, educators, siblings, and Spanish-speaking individuals launched recently. It's called ASD PeerToPeer. Many of us need support outside of regular business hours, which is why PeerToPeer was created. I can't tell you how many times I've woken up at 2 a.m. wanting to talk with someone who understands our life and speaks our language. Email is available 24/7 with no need to leave the house or sit face-to-face with someone you don't even know. If you have a question, want to hear experience, or just need to talk to someone who understands, send an email to asdpeertopeer@gmail.com. Your email will be answered within 24 to 48 hours. Remember, when you need to talk, asdpeertopeer@gmail.com. If you're anything like me, taking time for yourself is so far on the back burner, it might as well be off the stove. I feel like I'm on duty 24/7. It's guerrilla parenting what we do. Some days, sometimes I really realize I've gone days without a shower. Not because it just happens to slip my mind. We live in an apartment complex, and we're really not supposed to shower after 10 p.m. I know it sounds like BS to me too, but whatever. So, if I don't get to it by 10 p.m., it's just not happening. And it just doesn't happen. The experts, they call this self-care, and it's vitally important. Not just for our sanity, but for our children. We have to be at the top of our game for them. And no one is on the top of anything after 5 days nonstop in the trenches. Let me read you an excerpt from More Than a Mom, Living a Full and Balanced Life When Your Child Has Special Needs. In order to take care of your family, you need to continuously rejuvenate yourself. For the sake of your health, you need to care not just for your body, but for your emotional, social, spiritual, and intellectual sides too. The better you feel, the better you can care for your family. Unless you take the time to nurture your own needs, you can end up feeling resentful, burdened, and depressed. Well, that doesn't sound fun at all. But goodness, it is just not easy, is it? All the experts in the world could look me in the eye, come to my house, and pour me a cup of coffee, and it's not going to change the guilt. And that's what I feel. I feel the guilt. Something about kids just turns that guilt switch on. So here's our challenge for this week. Take a picture and post it on our Facebook page of something you did for yourself this week. No limits on what it can be. Even if you have just enough time to step out on your porch and take a quick picture of the beautiful weather, totally counts. Make some time for yourself this week. You totally deserve it. For those of you who know SpongeBob, you know that when something doesn't go right, he says, Tartar Sauce, instead of adult words. Well, a 6-year-old on the spectrum picked up using Tartar Sauce. One morning as a mom was getting breakfast, she heard, tartar sauce. She asked, "What's tartar sauce, son?" Meaning, what's wrong? And the son replied, "Mom, it's pickles and mayonnaise." Can we say literal thinking? Well, that about does it for the first episode of the Central Oregon Autism Moms Podcast. Know a great inspirational or funny story? Maybe have one of your own we can share? We'd love to hear from you. Email us at coampodcast@gmail.com. Have an answer to the question of the week? Did you complete the challenge? You can find us on the Facebook group, the online autism support group, and at coampodcast.blogspot.com. Don't forget to put June 14th on your calendar. I can't wait to meet you in person. Thanks for spending some time with me today.